Hello everyone and welcome back to Boko Lalai. I'm Boko Lalai and I'm here to give you some words of wisdom, spiritual advice, direction, inspiration, or free therapy, or however it is that you want to take this message. So if the message doesn't apply to you at this moment, it could be relevant in the future, or for someone else who may need to hear it, so please pass the word. These are timeless readings. The readings will be done on a daily basis, so don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell button so you can easily access your daily videos as well. I do have an extended version of the video available in Vimeo. The link is below in the description box. And if you want to know what decks I'm using, I've also got the the list of decks in the description below as well. So this is my first sort of week doing all this, first time on YouTube, so I'm hoping that these readings bring some sort of positivity in your lives, and I hope I'm doing a good job, and I'm hoping that I get better as well. So I've used a couple of different decks. I've swapped out two of them, but you'll see as we go along with the reading. So today's the 18th of June 2020. It's a Wednesday. I believe today is the start of the Mercury retrograde, so make sure you're saving copies of your work or your things that you're working on, making sure you're double checking who you're sending emails and messages to, and making sure that you're checking any, I don't think there's many flights going on, but making sure you're checking the transport timetables just in case there's delays. So I'm sure many of us know what the Mercury retrograde brings for us. So let's find what today's energy is, though. The advice for today, 18th of June. Spirit, what's the advice for the 18th of June? Advice and actions and messages and energy for the 18th of June 2020. Oh, the Five of Swords. This very much goes, works with the theme of the Mercury retrograde, thinking before doing. Picking your battles wisely, being careful with your communication. Let's clarify this. I'm using the Arcanum Tarot deck. So why is the Five of Swords here? Why is the Five of Swords here? Don't want it has too many cards. Why is the Five of Swords here? The Six of Swords. That lovely ascension to five, from the 5 to the 6. So the Five of Swords, I call it the think before you do, because think before you do, and to pick your battles wisely, because regardless of whether you win or lose, you may still be losing at the end. You may win the battle, but you may lose the war. If you're in a situation where even though you may come out as being correct or the right, or you've proven your point, you've won the case, but you may lose your integrity as well, because you may hurt someone else along the way. You lose the people that you're closest to, or you may choose to engage in some sort of engage in combat, or argue over something that even if you think is right, you end up being wrong, and you end up looking like you look like a bit of an idiot. But the Five of Six. That's 5 or 6. The Six of Swords after the 5. So usually you have that sort of that confrontation, or that bit of that conflict, and the Six of Swords is all about moving into calmer waters. It usually represents travel as well. I like seeing the Six of Swords because that it's not, you're moving to something more peaceful. You're moving towards your goal as well. The ideal outcome would be to get that Six of Swords, and the best way to do it is to take the high road. Take the high river, whatever you want to call it, but it's all about taking the high road. I think whatever, if sometimes it's so easy just to, you just want to prove a point, or you just want to say something to someone, because they've said something that really bothered you. Best thing to do, talk about it with a close friend or someone that you trust, and just vent it out to them in a healthy way, but don't actually tell that person off, because it may end up backfiring onto you. So I'll be using the Whispers of Ganesha as for one of the oracle cards. So what's the advice, and what do we need to know for the 18th of June 2020? Splendor. So this is finding peace, finding happiness, finding splendor in our lives. So trying to focusing on that Six of Swords energy rather than the Five of Swords. Looking after things around you as well, looking after nature, respecting it as well. I've got the energy oracle cards out as well. What's the advice for today? Oh dear, I forgot to. Okay, so patience. Okay, very much this Mercury retrograde energy as well. Being patient. This is what the Five of Swords also represents. Being patient, not choosing not to engage, choosing to take the high road. Let karma work. Let karma work things out. Being patient. So the new deck I've got here is the Keepers of the Light. So let's find out what the Keepers of the Light have to say. So we've got Melchizedek, higher learning. You have learned from experience. More inner study is now required to further progress. Okay. So this is about learning. Again, this is all about, learning before you, thinking before you do, learning before you do, so that way you're not losing out on something big. Especially with the Mercury retrograde that's happening from the 18th of June, it's a good time just to plan things out, to have patience, to appreciate, the things around you, as we can see in Splendor. If you do want to make big plans, or if you do want to do that, that's fine, but just make sure that you're not taking it into action now. Wait till the retrogrades are over, the Mercury retrograde. I know there's a few other retrogrades going on at the same time as well. If for some reason you do need to, you need to sign some sort of contract, you need to do a big thing, make sure that you're looking at you're looking at that contract, you're looking at the terms and conditions closely, you're reading things 3 times, get someone else to read things before you make that decision. Making sure that you're, learning as much as possible, so that way you're not missing the detail, making sure that you're crossing your T's and dotting your I's. So you don't end up in a Five of Swords situation where you've gone, oh crap, I didn't see that, now I've lost. And being it's also a time of just being patient as well. So if there's something that you can hold off, you're better off just being patient, because you want to make sure you'd rather the Six of Swords energy than the Five of Swords. So very today's energy is very much thinking about before you're doing, being patient, before you do something big. Make sure you're learning a lot about it, making sure you're doing that inner study, that inner work, asking for help, asking for advice as well before you make that big decision. Otherwise you may regret it. So simple message here today, quick. I think, how many minutes was that? Oh, it's 8 minutes. It's still pretty long. Okay. I lied. It's a bit long. I hope this reading resonated with you. I do have an extended version available on Vimeo. The link to that is below in the description field. If you like this video, please remember to comment and like and share this video. And please subscribe to my channel. Have a good day.